Am I the asshole for telling people I'm not having fun when they ask and I'm genuinely not? This one is general. I am a guy who, when I don't enjoy something, I'll tell you I don't, but if I commit to something, I'll see it through to the end without complaining. This comes to a head where I was on vacation with my older brother in Arizona, who wanted to do a lot of nature hikes. Nature hikes are fine. I don't mind them, but I do dislike walking up large hills. Walking downhill is the easiest thing ever. It's like being nature's passenger princess. You just put your foot forward and let gravity do all the work. Walking uphill conversely is very draining and leaves me sweaty. I don't make a point to complain about something when I do it, so when I was walking uphill, despite not liking it much, I held basic conversation with my brother. As we were heading back down, he asked me if I was having fun and I said no. Not because of any fault of my brother, I just didn't find the activity fun. Not even bad, just satisfactory. Later when he was driving me to the airport for my flight home he told me, if I ask you if you're having fun, don't say, no. I understand that it can be demoralizing to hear someone's not having fun, but I don't like it when people ask for my opinion and get upset when I give my honest answer. If I'm not having fun, I'll just say I'm not having fun. YTA. It's been a fun day hanging with you, but man, this hike is steep. I'm looking forward to the downhill bit. That's the sort of polite answer people are looking for. You acknowledge you're enjoying your brother's company, which was what he was looking for, but you can also acknowledge the hike is hard, difficult, etc. It doesn't matter how much the activity sucks. People want to hear that you're enjoying their company. You are the asshole. You could have communicated your dislike of the hike with a simple, not really, but I'm enjoying spending time with you. You're being a dick. The vibe is something you have to create and participate in. If you're being a wet blanket, the vibe is shitty. You are the asshole. You are the asshole. You are perched on your self-anointed pedestal and expecting everyone to treat you like a little princess. Your brother probably regrets ever going on a hike with you. Sometimes in life you have to walk uphill to get to where you're going. Hello, not the asshole. As an autistic person I find myself having to think about what other people want to hear instead of what is the appropriate response. I think in this case you can give more context, if it seems right, why the activity is or isn't fun without diving into detail. Expressing your own needs isn't necessarily complaining unless the problem has been addressed, or there is more nothing to be done, and you bring it up to guilt other people. Maybe say like, not very fun for me because long uphills aren't my thing. And cut off further response without being rude. I think bringing it up beforehand to your brother might help too, so the two of you can compromise. First, am I the asshole? Post PLZ. Be nice to your fellow Redditors. You are the asshole. You can tell the truth and be nice. Are you having fun? I will be once we're on the downslope. Am I the asshole for singing to my BF? Mike, 21 female, boyfriend, 20 male, has skin cancer. He usually takes prescribed pain meds for the pain and soreness, but recently an issue came up with his doctor and he won't be able to get the meds till next Monday. He is out currently and it has been taking a toll on him as he had his last chemo session last Friday and last night he was really sore and in a lot of pain. He was just lying in bed groaning and tearing up from the pain, and he just looked so defeated. I felt so bad and I was trying my hardest to make him comfortable. It was late at night and I just wanted him to be able to sleep, and he has had music put him to sleep numerous times before and I know it's something he likes. So I played and sung some calming music while caressing him, and he fell asleep pretty fast. Earlier today I was telling a friend who is in nursing school and somewhat asking for advice because I didn't want him to keep suffering until Monday. She said that the singing thing was really weird. I asked how so and she said that I was infantilizing him. I said I was just trying to comfort him. She said that I shouldn't do that because it's really fucking weird, and said that he was a grown man and didn't need all that. I said that he looked like he was suffering and I just wanted to help. She said that I didn't need to and that I was basically singing a lullaby to him. As a nurse, there is nothing wrong about singing to a loved one if it helps them. It's called therapeutic communication and therapeutic touch, for the caressing part. Sometimes we just want to be treated like a child, in terms of getting comfort. If it's what works, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's not like you're doing it constantly where it's actually becoming a problem where he's making his personality off being a child type of thing. Then maybe do that kind of stuff wouldn't be a good idea if it's trying to get out of those habits. But yeah, what you did was perfectly fine and he needs to rethink his decisions if he ever loses you. Lol. Not the asshole. Jesus, your friend chose the wrong profession if she is going to act that frickin' evil. Not the asshole. Friend is in nursing school, friend is still learning. Friend don't know what it is like when it's not their loved ones. You did what you needed to do to comfort your partner. Not the asshole. Your friend is really fucking weird. Not the asshole. It brought him comfort at a difficult time and helped him get some much needed sleep. Your friend is, however, the She should be supporting you at a difficult time, Not criticizing you based on some moronic idea of what's age appropriate. Did your boyfriend like it? Did it make him feel infantilized? If he did, and it didn't, that's all that matters. What's weird is her telling you to stop doing something and assuming it made him feel bad despite the fact that she wasn't there and didn't talk to him about it. I love it when my partner sings to me. I'm a grown man. It's soothing, and my partner's voice is gorgeous. It makes me feel at peace and loved. Am I the asshole for simply asking my boyfriend's dad to put a plate in the cabinet? Short story short, I was making a cream pie with fruits on top, strawberries, kiwis, mango, etc. I was in the kitchen finishing it off and my boyfriend's dad, I'll call him Stefan, was finishing off a dish he was making. My boyfriend's grandpa was coming over at 6 p.m. so Stefan was making things for him in advance and I was making the pie. So the clock hits 6 p.m. and his grandpa is supposed to come at any minute, so Stefan rushes and cleans the counters and asks me to hurry, so I grabbed some things to put away but said I was slow and not fast enough. I put the pie in the freezer and get 2 other things to put away in a second fridge. A plate, which was the only thing on the counter and something I was no longer using, was in his way of cleaning. As I carried 2 other things to put in the garage fridge, I said to Stefan, "You can put that plate away if you want, it's clean," in a normal, non-bitchy or bossy tone. I come back inside to clean away the berries and Stefan says behind me, "Daphne, don't ever tell me to put things away like that again," in a serious tone, which I never heard from him before. I'm ashamed of it, but I'm a pretty sensitive person. If I'm only nice and respectful to a person and suddenly they snap at me like this, it's hard for me to act the same way again. I don't know if anyone else here is like this, but it happens to me a lot. Once this happens, I feel the urge to get lost and not be seen again for the rest of the day. I grew up in a severely abusive home. After he said that to me, I left. I told my boyfriend this and he sides with his dad, of course, and says what I did was very disrespectful. I personally do not see this and I want to know if I was an asshole here. Thank you. Given how Stefan was reacting to his father's imminent arrival, I get the sense that your boyfriend comes from a long line of men who are very exacting in their expectations of others. I think Stefan may have been under stress when he reacted like that, but it wasn't an impulsive response. And your boyfriend definitely showed you who he is, especially if he used the language in your mod explanation, that you told a man what to do. I don't think this will be a healthy relationship for you. Not the asshole. People like this. I completely understand your fight, flight, or freeze response op. I generally freeze in situations like that, and then I mull it over for the rest of the time I'm with them. Why did they say that? I would never speak to them like that, etc. My go-to now is to stare at them blankly and say, why? Get them flustered instead of you. Not the asshole. This is a small glimpse into your future. Don't let him trap you. It will forever be your fault no matter what explanation you give. Get out while you can. Yeah, this is the type that believe women belong in the kitchen. I get out ASAP. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend is living with an abusive, patriarchal, sexist person. That comes with a lot of complications. You've been given a glimpse. Your choice how to act on that. Not the asshole. You need out of this relationship. Read your post history and the fact that your fiancé wanted any emails directed to him. That just supports the fact that his dad, and probably his grandfather too, believe men are superior and women should always defer to them and know their place. Seeing as how that's likely what he was taught growing up, and doesn't see any issue with how his father spoke to you, as a giant red flag. Am I the asshole for honking at driver that stopped in the oncoming lane's mid-left turn for a pedestrian? So recently, I had a bit of an argument with my stepdad while driving. So, I was the one driving when this happened. There was a driver from the other side of the road in the center left turn lane, and they were turning left. If they didn't stop in the middle of the road, then everything would have been fine. But they ended up stopping in the middle of the travel lanes. I ended up having to brake decently hard to avoid T-boning them. It really frightened me, and in response, I honked at them. But the thing is, they were stopping because of a crossing pedestrian. Then, my stepdad gets pissed at me for honking, calling me an asshole, saying that they were just letting the pedestrian through, and not running the pedestrian over. He even accused me of trying to urge that driver to just run over the pedestrian. Yes, I'm serious. On the one hand, I can fully understand that one would want to let a pedestrian through. I'd want drivers to stop for me and not hit or endanger me. But I counter-argue that with this. If the other driver couldn't clear the driveway by the time the pedestrian would reach it, then they should have stayed in the CLTL and waited for the pedestrian to get fully across, even if that means having to wait even longer for a gap in oncoming traffic. If I were that other driver, that's what I would have won. But what do you think? Am I an asshole for honking at that other driver, or not? Nah, you're not the a-hole. Honking's just car speak for, dude, what are you doing? Also, stopping mid-turn equals chaos. Pedestrians and drivers deserve better planning. Not the asshole. Your assessment is completely correct. Honking doesn't necessarily mean you were encouraging the blind idiot to run over the pedestrian crossing the street. Merely a show of your dissatisfaction that the offending party caused you to slam on the brakes to avoid an accident. Using your lane as a parking stall definitely deserves a honk, at the very least. What your stepfather suggested is certainly a possibility if your honk were to cause complete irrational panic, but chances are slim. With the info given, I'd say not the asshole. All you saw was the car in front of you suddenly brake and you almost hit it. Honestly, I get honking in reaction. I can't say for sure I wouldn't have. The real asshole in this situation is your stepdad for immediately going off on you. He could have just said that, "Oh, there was a pedestrian," instead he instantly turned this into a lecture. You're not the asshole, you're just human. Not the asshole. All these replies seem to think Op was behind the person who turned left and stopped. He was in oncoming traffic to the left-hand turner, so the left-hand turner stopped abruptly in OP's traffic lane. How anyone can think Op is the asshole, especially with so much indignation, is honestly scary. Not the asshole. It's concerning to me how many people are saying, well, they probably just didn't see the pedestrian, as if that's not the most important thing to look out for when turning on or off a street. Honking is a good way to alert another driver that you felt unsafe and hopefully get their attention to the situation they clearly weren't paying attention to properly. It shows them they were close to causing an accident and hopefully prevents the situation next time. Not the asshole. The most important thing you can do on the roads is be predictable. They should have waited in the turn lane.